Could the challenges you're facing right now be a sign that your life is about to change forever? What if the delays, the silences, the obstacles that feel so heavy aren't punishments, but preparations, tests from the universe designed to ready you for a new reality, a reality you've been asking for, dreaming of, longing to step into? Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychologist, believed that before any significant change, the universe tests us, not to break us, but to ensure we're ready, to strip away the illusions we cling to help us grow into the person who can live the life we've envisioned, a life of meaning, of purpose, of truth. For those of us in our middle years, navigating the uncertainties of life, understanding these tests can transform our struggles into stepping stones, guiding us toward a reality that aligns with our deepest desires, a reality where we're not just surviving, but thriving, fully ourselves, fully alive. In this video, we'll explore Carl Jung's insights on how the universe tests you before changing your reality, what these tests reveal about your inner world, why they often come with pain, how to pass them by, changing how you respond, and what it means to live with the stability that allows the universe to bring you the transformation you've been seeking, a transformation that might be closer than you think. Let's begin by exploring Carl Jung's idea that the universe tests you before changing your reality. Imagine you've been dreaming of a new chapter in your life, a new relationship, a fresh start, a deeper sense of purpose. You've made plans, nurtured hope, set your intentions. But then, just when you thought things would move forward, everything stops. The doors you expected to open stay closed. The progress you hoped for feels frozen, and you're left in a silence that feels almost unbearable, a silence that makes you question if you're on the right path at all. Carl Jung taught us that this isn't a sign of failure. It's a test, a deliberate pause from the universe, not to punish you, but to prepare you, to ensure you're ready for the new reality you've been asking for, a reality that requires a version of you who's stronger, wiser, more aligned with your true self, a version of you who can handle the change without losing yourself in it. Jung believed that before any significant shift, the universe creates a void, a stillness, a moment where the old must crumble to make way for the new. A moment where your ego, the part of you that clings to control, to safety, to the familiar, must break down so that you can encounter your true self, the self that's ready to live the life you've envisioned, the self that's whole, authentic, and free. It's like a storm that clears the air before a new dawn, a storm that feels chaotic, even painful, but is necessary to sweep away what no longer serves you, to make space for what's coming, to prepare you for a reality that's not just different, but deeper, richer, more true. A reality that aligns with the truth of who you are, a reality that the universe knows you're ready to step into if you can pass the test. This Carl Jung universe tests challenge us to see our struggles differently, to recognize that the silence, the delays, the obstacles aren't signs of abandonment, but signs of preparation, signs that something greater is coming if we're willing to trust, if we're willing to grow, if we're willing to let go of the old, to embrace the new. Now, let's dive deeper into how the universe's tests reveal what's still misaligned within you. When you ask for a new reality, whether it's love, freedom, or a deeper sense of purpose, the universe doesn't just hand it to you. It first shows you the parts of yourself that aren't yet ready, the parts that still react in old ways. The parts that need to grow before you can fully step into the life you've envisioned, because you can't live a new reality if you're still carrying the same fears, the same patterns, the same wounds that shaped your old one. Carl Jung taught us that these tests often come in forms that feel like the opposite of what you want. You long for love, but face distance. You seek freedom, but encounter limitations. You hope for lightness, but meet resistance. Not because the universe is cruel, but because it's wise, because it knows that what provokes you reveals you, that the challenges you face are mirrors, reflecting the fears, the insecurities, the habits you need to confront, to heal, to release, so you can become the person who's ready for the change you've been asking for. When you're rejected, it might reveal a fear of abandonment that still lingers. When you're limited, it might show a controlling impulse you haven't let go of. When you feel absence, it might highlight how much you still seek outside what can only be built within. These tests aren't about what happens to you, Jung would say. They're about how you respond, about whether you react with the same old panic, the same need for approval, the same self-sabotage, or whether you can respond with calm, with trust, with a willingness to grow, a willingness to change. It's like a mirror held up by the universe, a mirror that shows you the parts of yourself that are still misaligned, the parts that need to shift before your reality can. A mirror that reflects not just your pain, but your potential, not just your wounds, but your strength. A mirror that invites you to see yourself clearly, to heal what's broken, to let go of what's holding you back, so you can step into a new reality with a new version of yourself, a version that's ready, a version that's whole. Now, let's explore why the universe's tests often come with pain, and what that pain means for our journey. You've been facing the challenges, you've been growing, you've been changing the way you respond, but then, just when you thought you were ready, a deep, intense pain hits. A pain that feels like it's coming from your core, a pain that makes you doubt everything, a pain that whispers, "If I'm evolving, why does it hurt so much?" Carl Jung would tell us that this pain isn't a mistake. It's not a sign of failure. It's the final exam, the last test before your reality shifts. A test designed not to punish you, but to refine you, to push out the final structures you've been clinging to, the structures that no longer serve you, the structures that must crumble to make space for the new reality you've been asking for. A reality that requires a version of you who's free from the past, who's ready to step into the future, who's whole, not fragmented, aligned, not misaligned. Jung taught us that pain is a thermometer. It measures your growth, your readiness, your ability to accept what's happening, to let go of what's old, to embrace what's new, because what's crumbling now isn't you, it's the old version of you, the one who needed control, who sought approval, who feared the unknown, a version that must dissolve so the new can emerge, a version that must let go so you can become the person who can live the life you've envisioned. It's like a fire that burns away what's no longer needed, a fire that hurts, that scares, that disorients, but also purifies, a fire that clears out the clutter, the fear, the resistance, leaving behind a space where something new can grow, a space where your true self can stand, steady and strong, ready for the reality the universe is preparing for you, a reality that's not just different, but deeper, truer, more aligned with your soul's purpose. Now, let's uncover the key. to overcoming the universe's tests by changing how you respond. As you face the challenges, the pain, the silences that the universe brings, you might feel your old self rising up, the part of you that panics, that seeks control, that clings to the familiar, the part that wants to react with fear, with doubt, with the same patterns that have kept you stuck, the same patterns that have held you back from the new reality you've been asking for. But Carl Jung taught us that this is the moment of truth, the moment where real change begins, the moment where you can break the cycle, where you can pass the test, not by fighting the challenge, but by changing how you respond to it, by choosing to respond with trust, with calm, with a willingness to grow, a willingness to let go of the old, to step into the new, to become the person who's ready for the life you've envisioned. Jung believed that the universe isn't watching what happens to you. It's watching how you respond, watching whether you'll retreat into the familiar, into the fear, into the need for control, or whether you'll respond with a new kind of strength, a strength that says, I'll keep going, even if I don't understand, even if I'm afraid, even if I don't see the reward yet. A strength that breaks the old patterns, that shows the universe you've changed, that proves you're ready for the new reality, ready to live it, ready to sustain it, ready to be the person you've been becoming through every test, every challenge, every moment of pain. It's like opening a door to freedom, a door that leads you out of the cycles of the past, a door that lets you step into a new way of being, a steady way, that's true, a way that aligns with the reality you've been asking for, a way that says, I'm ready, I'm here, I trust. A door that the universe opens when it sees your readiness, when it sees your growth, when it sees your change. Now, let's explore why the universe hides the reward until you're truly ready, testing your stability before the change arrives. You've faced the challenges, you've changed how you respond, you've walked through the pain, but still, nothing seems to shift. The doors you hoped would open remain closed. The new reality you've been asking for hasn't arrived, and you're left in a void, a silence that feels unfair, a silence that tests your patience, your trust, your belief in the process, a silence that makes you wonder if you've been forgotten, if you've done something wrong, if the change you've been working toward will ever come. Carl Jung taught us that this void isn't a punishment, it's a test of stability, a test to see if you can live as the person you've become, even without the reward, even without the confirmation, even when you can't see the path ahead. A test to see if you've truly grown, if you've truly changed, if you can live as the person you've become, even without the external validation, even without the reward you've been waiting for. Jung taught us that the universe hides the reward to ensure you're not still trapped in lack, to see if you can embody the change you've been asking for, to see if you can live with integrity, with presence, with peace, even when nothing around you seems to have shifted, because if you're still waiting for the reward to feel whole, you're not ready to receive it, you're not ready to sustain it, you're not ready to live it fully. But when you can live as if you've already received it, when you can embody the stability, the trust, the truth of who you've become, that's when the universe knows you're ready. That's when the reward arrives, not as a gift to complete you, but as a reflection of the completeness you've already found within. It's like a foundation being built beneath you, a foundation of inner strength, of inner peace, a foundation that can hold the weight of the new reality, a foundation that ensures you won't crumble under the change, a foundation that the universe tests to make sure it's solid, to make sure it's real, to make sure it's yours. A foundation that prepares you for a life that's not just new, but true. A life that aligns with your soul, with your growth, with your journey. Let's wrap up by reflecting on how the universe's tests can transform the way we live. We've journeyed through Carl Jung's profound insights on how the universe tests you before changing your reality. A process that begins with a pause, a challenge, a void that prepares you for what's to come. A process that reveals what's misaligned within you, that brings pain as a final exam to refine you, that asks you to change how you respond, to let go of old patterns, to embody a new way of being, and that tests your stability, your ability to live as the person you've become, even without the reward, even without the confirmation, until you're truly ready to receive the new reality you've been asking for, a reality that's not just a change, but a reflection of your growth, your truth, your wholeness. Jung taught us that these tests aren't here to break us. They're here to align us, to awaken us, to prepare us for a life that's deeper, truer, more meaningful. A life where we're not just reacting to what happens, but responding with trust, with presence, with the strength we've gained through every challenge, every pain, every moment of waiting. A life where we live with the awareness that the universe is always working for us, even when we can't see it, even when it feels hard, even when the path isn't clear. It's like a wind that lifts you above the storm, a wind of trust, of faith, of surrender, a wind that carries you through the challenges, through the silences, into a new reality. A reality that's not just a destination, but a journey of becoming, a journey of growth, a journey of truth, a journey the universe guides you through. If you're willing to trust, if you're willing to change, if you're willing to become. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments for video 41. Have you ever faced a challenge that felt like a test? A moment that changed your reality in ways you didn't expect? If this video resonated with you, please give it a like, subscribe to Ageless Philosophies, and share it with someone who might need to hear this today, because you deserve a life that aligns with your truth. A life where you trust the universe's process. A life where every test becomes a step toward transformation. And I'm here to support you on that journey, cheering you on as you step into the reality you've been dreaming of.